Hello, guys. Welcome back to the J-Man YouTube channel. We have a subscriber here named Brian. He's going to tell us his story a little bit about how he got into trucking. And the cool part is he's working right now. He ended up stopping by my town. That's how we're doing the video. So tell us a little about your journey and how you got started.
Well, everybody, my name is Brian. 25 years old, from Los Angeles, born and raised. I decided to get my Class A license in November of 2020. First generation trucker. First to ever do it in my family, in my household. Got my license first try at the DMV in February. I got it in Gardena, California. If you guys are interested in getting your Class A license, I would recommend going to MTA, Messiah Trucking Academy in Gardena, California, if you're in the LA area. Really cheap. They work with students. You could also get in some down payment and work out some payment plans if you don't have it all in up front. And pass first try. I'm actually went through 4 companies in the short time that I've been working, but it shows you how big this industry is to make work and to get opportunity. I'm actually heading up now to Tracy to deliver a load for KKW in Pomona, and I stopped by to say what's up and talk to you guys.
Yeah, so that's the cool part that if you guys caught that, he's been into 4 different companies and he got his license in February. That's less than around 6 months, right? So
Yeah.
that's the cool part that I like because in my opinion, you should never kind of keep the first job you get because it's not always going to be the best. And that's what he's been doing too. So can you tell us a little about how the pay kind of changed from the first job you had or why you ended up switching or how the transition was? Because there's not really no interviews in trucking. You forget about interviews. It's a little
That's
different
right.
process.
That's right. So, with the first job, I worked for Be Imagine, a small company in Long Beach, actually. Just doing local work. You don't need experience for them. You basically run from Long Beach over to Fontana, over to Irwindale, back and forth, moving 40-foot containers. I started with containers. I was getting paid around, straight from school, around $24 an hour. Which is not bad for an entry-level truck driver. Then stayed there about 2 months. I got offered a better opportunity. I took it. This other company was actually Cargo Express Freight, based in Anaheim, but they have a yard in Santa Fe. Was there for about 4 months. I was in training. I was in training a little bit too long. Longer than what I expected, but I stuck with it because I planned on having my license about 6 months before I could start seeing more options available to me. It was about training pay was about $600 a week or so. It was a flat base rate because I was in training. I actually asked if I can actually get my own truck, but unfortunately, my dispatch said I wasn't prepared enough for that. I had no accidents, no crashes, nothing. Everything was good. Made our deliveries on time. Decided to move on from that. Now I'm with a company called KKW. I'm based in Pomona. I've been there about a month already. Had my orientation. They asked me to dock and to just go a little bit of driving just to see if I'm able to drive. There's no more interviews. It's just simple as basically getting there and them asking you, first of all, on the phone, asking you if your record is clean. That's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that record clean. If you keep that record clean and you're responsible, you could get any job in the world based off experience, if you have enough experience for the job. And that's the only biggest question they'll ask you. So then I stuck with it. I'm actually taking a load up now. I left Ontario, heading over to Tracy, and I'm doing just Nevada. I reside in Las Vegas, so I'm doing Nevada, Arizona, and California. So I'm just running back and forth, doing about 22 to 2,500 miles a week. And it's paying me pretty good.
Yeah, so if you guys caught it right there, started training around $600 a week, and then he ended up moving up in the company. After his 6 months, he's getting a little more opportunity, so he's going to talk about that in a second. But I want you guys to kind of compare this career to other options out there. So for college, you graduate high school, you go into college about 4 years, you get into debt, and then you're not guaranteed a job, or it's not always $100,000 after that. In trucking, that's a little bit different. Like you guys heard here, once you have some experience, the interviews don't really exist. It's just kind of a conversation about your history and the experience you have to see how much they're gonna pay you. So the jobs are pretty much there. Um, he's gonna explain how easy he can hop from job to job and the opportunity he's getting right now, and kind of talk a little about your plan, what you want to do in the future, and then how is trucking made. Like if the lifestyle is good for you, or you think it's hard to adjust to.
Okay. Well, my transitions was actually starting off about $24 an hour. I left that because I got offered a better opportunity, and I also wanted to do over the road, which is OTR. Doing 48 states. I did that for about 4 months. I was actually making $600 a week with them. If I would have ended up getting my own tractor, I would have been doing about 38 cents a mile as entry level, which is approximately the average base rate for an entry level driver going over the road. If you guys get offered anything around 50 or so as an entry level driver, definitely a good deal, depending on how many miles you're doing. From there, I'm with KKW now. KKW, I'm doing tri-state, meaning I'm doing Nevada, Arizona, California. It's paying me 50 cents a mile now, and I'm doing around 2,500 miles a week. I really enjoy it. I recommend truck driving for people who actually have a passion for driving and actually like seeing what's out there. It's a pretty big world, especially if you're able to see what's out there just by driving. It's really something that I would say takes a lot of dedication and hard work into somebody. You work your way up in this industry just like anything else, basically. I started off from the bottom and slowly I'm climbing up. Recently, I talked to a job opportunity just yesterday. I reached out to a company called New Legend Transportation. They offered me actually 70 cents a mile for a new run, which is now only going from California back to Las Vegas where I live. They're asking for a minimum of 2,500 miles. So approximately, if you do the math on that, that's around $1,750 a week gross. In Nevada, actually, there's no income tax, so I'm able to pocket a lot more throughout the year. If you were to do the math on that, as an entry level 6-month experienced driver, now I'm looking at around 84,000 a year, which is a big jump from what I was making. With KKW right now, if I were to stick around, I would offer this job opportunity for entry-level drivers. Good company, employee-owned, really easy dispatchers. You work on your own pace. No one's on top of you. You get loads based on your work ethic. It's really easy going. Based in Pomona, but they also have yards in Vegas for Nevada, for people that live in Nevada, Arizona, Oregon, Washington. A lot of the West Coast states, they have yards. So then go ahead and look them up online, called KKW Trucking. I would really recommend them, especially entry-level drivers. Okay, so you guys are guaranteed your 50 cents a mile. I would definitely recommend KKW Trucking. Look them up online. They have yards anywhere in the West Coast states. They work with entry-level drivers. Really good company to begin with, I would say. I would have definitely went with them if I would have known that. You get your day and a half, 2 days home time a week. You're doing about 5 to 7 days on the road. And actually, you do get a lot of home time. You can or cannot get home time, all depending on the kind of driver you guys are. If you guys like being on the road, racking up a little bit more miles, making a little bit more money, you can stay on the road longer. If not, you can still make decent money, but then you'll be home more often. So home is really important to me with this company. If I were to stay, I'm netting about $1,100 to probably $1,200 a week. Take home back to the house is probably around $800, $900. So a month I'm looking around maybe 4,000, which is not bad. It's okay for an entry level driver. But now that I have my license for 6 months, actually, I'm gonna actually take this newer opportunity with Legend, because then on average I could be making anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000. Um, that's the goal actually. So I'm making a big jump from around 40-ish thousand a year all the way up to double 84,000 a year. And actually, after 6 months, I get a pay increase. And same thing with KKW with most job opportunities. If you guys keep your record clean, no accidents, drive safe on the road, every 3 to 6 months, always ask for that raise. Always ask for that raise because they will give you a raise. They definitely will. So make sure you guys always ask for that raise. And the world is endless in trucking. It's endless. It's endless. You can always get jobs wherever the heck you want.
Yeah, so if you guys paid attention there, I mean, comment down below if you know any other industry where you can make a jump that high. Usually it's like a year or two as an apprentice, let's say for welding, for, construction workers. It takes a while to make a jump that high. I have a friend too that just graduated school. No, he went straight into construction after high school. He's been working for 3 years straight. He just got an increase to 90 grand, and here in the Bay Area. So he's been hustling for 3 years, and now he got his jump. Compared to Brian here, he's been hustling for about 6 months, and he's gonna get a good jump. So that's what I want you guys to pay attention to, those kind of opportunities, because every job you kind of start, or every kind of career, welding or construction, anything, it's going to suck in the beginning because you're not used to it, because it's a different lifestyle. Construction workers are always, complaining about the hours, the heat. So everything has its, goods and bads, but pay attention to the jump he made in those 6 months from 40K, all the way to 80,000. So that's what I want you guys to pay attention to. And then talk to us about the plans you have, in the future, if you really think this is a career you're going to stay in. And do you know there's potential to make over $100,000? So are you excited to, get into those numbers soon?
Yeah, actually, I am. Having my license 6 months actually, and now in the 80s grand a year is a dramatic jump difference. What I plan on doing is just saving up as much money as possible, working as much as possible, actually balancing work with home time as much as possible, because that's really important to me. Also with making good money. I personally find it mentally and physically healthy to get home time, but every driver's different. That's my own preference. It feels good to sleep in your own bed every single week. That's important to me. What I plan on doing in the future is, I want to become an owner-operator. That's my goal. That's been my goal, to have a business ever since I was a little kid. I'm really business-oriented. I really suggest anyone who did have your license for 6 months, if you plan on making some pretty good money, and I heard good things about the company, you could go ahead and look it up. I've seen reviews and all that. Looking at new Legend Transportation, the lowest base rate is around 60 cents a mile, depending on the kind of route and run you're going to be doing. It's anywhere from 60 to even 65 to 70. So it depends what you want to do and what fits you guys best. They also run the West Coast states and also Texas and Oklahoma. I plan on becoming an owner-operator, so I do want to get my own truck, my own semi. Right now I'm currently leasing. I just got a lease up in Vegas for about a year. I just want to save as much money as possible. After that, I plan on getting a mortgage next year in the Nevada area still. I really like Vegas. It's a good fit for me. I left Los Angeles because it's a little bit too much. Even being a truck driver, I have a really low budget, and with the mortgage, in Los Angeles, it really wasn't for me. So I made the move. There's work anywhere you go. You could go in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nothing, and there could be a warehouse there that still pays the truck drivers really well. So it all depends where you guys want to live. There's work everywhere. There's endless potential. Pay increase is only going to go up in truck driving with experience and with the amount of knowledge and your close connections. So the more you work, the harder you make the sacrifice, the more money you start to get in the long run. Things will start to change really dramatically, really quick. Be responsible. I would like to start off with, a nice sleeper, because I plan on still doing California to Nevada. I actually ended up finding out about Doft through Jose, actually. Pretty cool thing. I looked into it. I like it. There's also a lot of different ways how you can make money in the owner operator field. I plan on staying with New England Transportation for as long as I possibly can. I would say maybe 2 years, 2.5 years. Making 80,000. Who knows what I can make a year from now, actually, or once when I have my license, another 6 months, it might even go up to 100,000
Yep.
really quickly. And that's not bad for having 1 year in, because a lot of truck drivers have to work their way up 3,000-4,000 years to make that. I could give you a prime example. Walmart is a great union job, great job, but they ask for 2 years and a half to make around 80 to 90,000. And there's Walmart. The only difference is they're a union. So everyone has different goals and priorities, but my main goal right now is to make as much money, save as much money so I can get a mortgage next year, and hopefully get my truck in about 2 years, 2.5 years, while getting my authority this year.
So yeah, a pretty solid plan, honestly. And for those of you guys that don't think home time and making good money is not available, it is. That's what I'm doing right now. So he has a pretty solid plan. Obviously, we've talked about leasing onto companies, the DAT, Lordboard, the DOFT. If you guys want to check those out to get an idea how much you can make in your state, great tools to have. He's taking advantage of them. So that's going to be pretty much it. I mean, if you want to add anything else, any other tips, it's been real useful information you're giving us. Thank you for stopping by. And like I said, anything else you'd like to drop in for the audience?
Yeah, guys. So I recommend most definitely, I would say, get your license through a school that's actually out there. The only difference is if you guys want to get your Class A license and you want to get it through a company, big company, Swift, CR England, etc., those kind of companies, you have to work with them for a certain amount of time. If not, if you guys end up getting a better opportunity or getting paid more money elsewhere and you guys leave before your contract, you're unfortunately going to have to pay back. And I know a lot of buddies that did have to pay back because they left because they wanted to go make more money elsewhere. Well, that's the downside, is that you're going to have to pay it back until your contract is over. And I don't speak for everyone, but from what I heard, it's always good to keep your options open, because if you get offered something better and you got your license anywhere else, you can just move and, you have no worries. The only question they're going to ask you is, how's your record? Is it clean? Any DUIs? No DUIs, guys. Do not drink and drive. Never do that. Take care of your Class A, because it's one thing I was always told, and I tell myself, it's one thing to earn it, but it's even harder and a lot more responsibility to keep it.
Yes.
And to keep it very, very clean. So most definitely go ahead and do that. It's always keep responsibility as your number one priority. Be responsible always. I would definitely say, if you guys plan on becoming an owner operator, stay with the company for a few years, just like I'm sure he would say, or also I have a few buddies who work in the port. Your insurance is going to go down dramatically. Don't rush to become an owner operator. Do it when it's best at your own time. The longer you hang on to your Class A, working for a company, being happy temporarily, or even if you are, get your truck when it's actually at the best convenient time for yourself. Because then once you go for your insurance, it's going to be really dramatically low. And it's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. And make sure, most definitely, you do it if you know you're business oriented. Because I do know a lot of people who do get the Class A, unfortunately, and tell others that it's not good for them.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I'm sure they would say it's not good for them is because their profits are so much, and you have to actually sit down and prioritize your expenses. Fortunately, sometimes people get money excited, and they start taking vacations, and they buy the brand new car, and they start getting excited with it, unfortunately, without putting their money back into the business. So you always want to make sure your priorities are okay. Make sure your profits go back into your business. Then less money for yourself, more money into your business. Slowly, you guys will start to see an increase. And I've been told by plenty of owner-operators plenty that have been successful and that have been in the industry for a long time. So most definitely, if you guys want to look into it, I would say always check them out. Also, check out other owner-operators and see what's out there. Or if you're happy working for a company, hey, work for a good company that pays you well. Look for the benefits. Look for the long-term goals. Make sure you're happy most important time. And my best advice would be make sure you get home time, because mentally and physically, I would like every truck driver to be actually really, really healthy above number one.
Okay, thank you. Pretty good tips. Let me know if you guys found them helpful in the comments down below. I like them a lot. They're pretty good. Pretty good
Sweet.
job. So thank you for being here, and we'll see you probably soon, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
See you, bud.